Hello again from Kristen with ministrytochildren.com. I hope you are ready for some more fun craft activities because we have 3 today that have to do with the story of Jesus healing Bartimaeus. Now, Bartimaeus was a man who was blind and had faith to ask Jesus to heal him. He called out and knew that Jesus could do it. Now, are there a lot of stories in the Bible about healing? Of course. Are there a lot of stories about faith and even about blind people? Yes. But guess what? That just means the craft abilities are endless. So here is what we're going to do today. We're going to make a noisemaker craft because Bartimaeus was making noise and crying out to Jesus. We're also going to make a puppet that has an interactive component to it. And then we're going to make just a fun card that reminds us that God opens our eyes and lets our hearts see with faith. So let's get right to it, beginning with the noisemaker. And it's always fun to have a noisemaker, and it's always fun to send the children home with a noisemaker and not have to deal with it yourself. But here we go. We're going to make a kazoo today. And there are a couple of ways that you can go about doing this. We're going to use a paper towel tube. You could also use a shorter toilet paper tube. It would work just as well. And then we're going to start off by decorating it before we turn it into the kazoo. So first we're going to do we're just going to write on it. We're going to throw stickers on there. We're going to make labels. We're going to go to town and just have fun with whatever kinds of decorations you would like to do. So maybe we're going to make a little caption that we'll tape or glue on there. And we're just going to say something like, cry out to Jesus, because that's what Bartimaeus did. He hears you. Of course, that's only one option. You could use all sorts of others. We're going to tape that on. Then we're going to add some more fun decorative elements. We're going to add some more tape. We're going to add some stickers. We're going to add, come on now. Well, I have an alternate idea. We're going to add some tables. There we go. That's even better. All right. So, got that. Forget the tape. And you can throw on whatever you would like here, of course. We're going to do just a basic decorating job, so you get the idea, but don't take up too much time. And then we're going to do the fun part. So, after you've added whatever kinds of decorations you want, you can draw straight on here or write straight on here. And you can remember the story. Jesus healed Bartimaeus, which is a fun one to say and spell. And now, here comes the part where we turn it into something that's going to make a little noise. Get rid of that excess tape that did not work. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to cut or punch or poke a hole near kind of a few inches up on your tube. So if I'm using the hole punch, kind of however far I can get it, you can maybe even do a couple of holes. Might do one right there. I might do one right here. That's just going to help the younger kids with this part, of course. That's going to allow the sounds to escape. Now that I've got my little hole or two, I'm going to take wax paper, and we're going to take a little piece of wax paper, and you're going to fold it over the end of your tube. Now, you don't really want to cover the hole, so this hole might be a little bit too far up because you don't really want to cover it completely. You want that hole to still appear. Now, after we've covered my tube end, I'm going to secure this nicely with a rubber band or string or whatever you've got. And now comes the fun part, because this is when we get to make some noise. So, if you've done this properly, you have a fun instrument to remember that we can cry out or make some noise to God. Hey, heal me. And make some noise in the car for your parents too, or around the house, or it's fun. So there's craft number 1, our noise making kazoo. Craft number 2 is going to be our Bartimaeus puppet. Now, this is going to involve an element that we can open the eyes, so to speak, of Bartimaeus. I remember I used to have this idea that people who were blind just always walked around with their eyes closed. It didn't occur to me that their eyes didn't function and they couldn't actually see, but they might still be opened. But at any rate, you're going to need a couple of paper plates for this. You can use large or small. Today I'm going to use small ones. Now, on one of these paper plates, we're going to cut a little box. So, if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can draw a little hole before you cut this, so you kind of have an idea of where it's going to go. And we're going to need a little piece of paper that will be inserted into this hole. So you can use kind of any size, any color. If you want it to blend in more, you can use a white, or I'm going to use this blue. It's going to be roughly the same size, but it does not have to be exact. So I'm going to cut my blue piece of paper. Actually, I need it to be a little bit shorter. Then I'm going to cut this slit here from my plate. And what's going to happen is, well, you will see. So we're going to cut this out. Then onto my piece of paper, I'm going to affix some eyeballs. So onto here, I'm going to glue a couple of googly eyes, and that's going to make for the component that will be making Bartimaeus see. Now, I'm also going to attach this to a stick. I'm going to use this lovely popsicle stick here, but you can use a smaller one or a larger one or whatever you'd like to use. And once I've got my eyeballs glued on here, I kind of want to make sure they're going to be visible through my little puppet guy. Eyeball number 1, eyeball number 2. There we go. Now I'm going to tape or glue this on here. And now I have my stick. I'm going to set that aside to dry for a minute while I decorate my Bartimaeus. So we're going to turn this into a person. So maybe I'll give him some hair. Maybe I'll give him some kind of curly hair. Why not? Maybe I'll give him a little beard over here. And on one plate, I'll do this face. Gonna give him a nose. And maybe a little mustache to go with that beard. Then we'll give him a little mouth. And it's going to be an open mouth because he's saying, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. So here's his yelling mouth. On the other plate, I'm going to kind of caption it so I know what this is all about. So, blind. If you want to say Bart, let's just call him Bart. Bart, actually no, we'll do his full name. Bartimaeus was healed. Hooray! Cry out to Jesus. All right. Now, here comes the fun part. So, I've got my two halves here. I'm going to put them together, but before I do, I'm going to come back with that little stick and I'm going to insert it. Now, I want to make sure it's fairly secure, but not completely, because what's going to happen is we're going to staple our plate together so that we have these components. And then the cool thing that's going to happen, here we go, Bart, is this plate's going to help me tell the story, because here's poor sad little Bartimaeus, and he could not see. Obviously, yes, your eyes are still there if you can't see, but he's blind, he can't see, and then Jesus healed him, and now he can see. Hooray! Now he can't see, now he can, now he can't, now he can. So there is your fun, interactive, engaging storytelling element of the blind, but now he sees Bartimaeus. So you have your noisemaker, you have your puppet. One more quick little thing here is going to be our just fun reminder of what the story is all about. So we're going to have a few pieces of paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to have kind of a pop out, lift the flaps sort of a card component here. So we're going to cut a couple of heart shapes, and underneath these heart shapes we're going to attach some eyes. So here's my fun little hearts. They're going to be attached to my paper to remind ourselves that actually we're going to do something like this. Eyes of faith. Jesus knows me inside and out. And then we're going to say, Jesus heals our hearts, something like that. Obviously, anytime we do a caption, that's just a suggestion. Do whatever you would like. And now we're going to kind of have some fun with this, because these are sort of our eyes and also sort of our lifted flaps. So underneath these flaps, I'm going to write, actually, first we're going to attach the flaps. You can use a stapler or some tape. And then under the flaps, we're going to write how we can have faith. So we might say, pray for strength. We might say, God is with us, because even when we don't have immediate healing, God still cares. God is with us. And you can add, of course, more hearts if you'd like to. Now, the fun part of this is we have our little lifty flaps. Now we're going to add on some eyeballs. So you can add as many eyeballs as you want. We're going to do, yes, my glue is still not quite cooperating. So we're going to add some eyeballs here, eyeballs over here. Now I've got glue all over the place. That's super fun. And if you want more eyeballs, add some more eyeballs. Go to town. Have fun with it. Wow, there's glue everywhere. So here's our fun little eyeballs and our fun little lifted flaps. And if you want to throw in some stickers, you want to throw in the verse reference, Mark 10 is where that story comes from. You can have fun with it, of course, and make it your own. And that's a very flexible, adaptable lots of ways that we can do it, kind of a craft. Just one more fun little thing if you need a time filler, or if you're short on supplies and all you've got is paper and some staples and plenty of googly eyes, you can have fun with that one. So there are 3 fun craft possibilities for you as you share this wonderful story of faith, of healing, of God's presence and nearness, and of blind Bartimaeus. So have fun with it, make it your own, run with it, use it however you prefer. But as always, we do have new children's messages and craft ideas coming out every week to bless you and the people in your ministry. So I hope that is helpful and wonderful for you. Feel free to tune in again next time. Go make some crafts, make some disciples. See ya.